Hello and welcome. My name is Sumiko Polacco, and I'm an academic skills instructor here at Trent. And later in this video, we will be joined by my fellow academic skills instructor, Kyle. We are a part of a team of individuals who are here to help you hone and develop your skills to succeed in university. So if you're ready to learn, let's get started. In this video, I will go over how to leverage your strengths at the university as a mature student, the expectations of your professor and yourself in today's university environment, and considerations for balancing your personal and academic lives. Kyle will then go into discussing the generation gap and its impact on courses, resourcefulness and growth, and get you familiar with supports like us that are here to help you through your academic journey. Now, as a mature student, your experiences in the workplace, previous education, with family, and just in life are your strengths at university. You can use these experiences as a tool to help you manage different aspects of academic life. For example, you may already be great at juggling responsibilities between work and life, which will be helpful for managing different courses and the workloads within these courses. And at this point, you've likely faced some problems and solved them, and you can apply this to a specific assignment, task, lab group, or group work. Continuing education, as you're doing now, takes persistence, resourcefulness, and some level of organization. So being here means that you do have these skills, and you can use them when you're faced with challenges in your courses. And maybe you've not done some formal research or coding or anything particularly formally creative in the last little bit, but perhaps you've done something like look up the best place to go on vacation or purchase an expensive item for your living space. Those research skills, those thought creativity skills are all transferable, and we use these every day in academic life. All this really is to say is that you can use the tools that you already have in your belt to continue building your knowledge base at university. So what's new in university? What might be different since the last time that you were in formal education or your previous education experiences? For some of you, this may be everything, and for some of you, it may not be very much. Some common items that we hear about are things like new vocabulary and content in courses that may be different than what you've experienced in a workplace of the same topic or same field. We also hear about new approaches to knowing things, new ways of communicating and explaining, particularly if we're talking about things like technology, presentations, different types of language. And most predominantly, we hear about the differences between the approach to learning, this idea of active learning versus passive learning. And I'm going to go through and explain what I mean by that. So when you're at university here, we want you to be open to new approaches for learning. The overarching theme you may notice in your classes here at Trent is that learning today is less teacher-driven and more self-directed or independent. So while you're here, be open to that idea. Unlike passive learning, your courses at Trent will expect you to be engaged and active and organized as a learner. So for example, typically university today moves students away from memorizing terms and just reporting back facts. Naturally, the idea here is now to be able to critically analyze ideas, to be able to synthesize information and evidence, and consider how you can apply these bigger concepts in the classroom and beyond. So one approach you might take when you're working on assignments or other coursework and you want to be an active learner is think about the best ways you can demonstrate that you thoroughly understand that material, ways that you can demonstrate your knowledge, whether or not you're working on an assignment or that you are writing a test or a midterm. So when you go through the idea here of being an active learner, you can think about using this study cycle. So we can see here at the start, before you attend class, preview the material. Skim anything that you don't know, take note of the big ideas and the big pictures. Then you go to class, you take notes, you ask questions during class to address those things that you've previewed. After class, review your notes, fill in any gaps that maybe you learned from that initial preview by going to class, and form any questions that you don't have an answer to. Before you attend the next class, work on studying. So think about having focused study sessions. So setting aside timings for those classes that you're going to sit down and review the material and study the material and answer those questions that you maybe don't have the answer to. And then check in with yourself. Ask yourself the question, can I teach this if somebody would ask me about it? And are my study methods effective? Because there are so many different study methods, things that we are more than happy to talk to you about here in Academic Skills. And sometimes we may not be using the right ones. So we want to make sure we're checking in with ourselves. And then we want to repeat this cycle as we go through the classes. This is what makes us engaged and organized as learners. So in talking about being engaged and being organized and having yourself together, one of the things that you need to be aware of in your classes is the course syllabus. This is a very important document because it communicates the course information and it defines the expectations and responsibility of yourself as well as your instructors and program. So you can find the course syllabus by accessing it through Blackboard. If you haven't already, getting into Blackboard is as simple as opening up My Trent and clicking the little BB bubble at the bottom there. If you don't happen to have that bubble, you can click on Academics on the top right-hand side, and that will bring you to a page where the Blackboard bubble is. So once you click into Blackboard, you'll notice that there are links to every course that you are taking in that particular semester. And once you get into those courses, you'll see that your instructors will have posted a link to the syllabus or a copy of the syllabus. And these should be on for every single course that you're taking. So the syllabus really is the key here. You should refer to it throughout the semester. Many of the answers to your questions that you have throughout the semester will likely be in the syllabus. So there are 3 things I want to highlight about the syllabus and what you want to be able to take away from it. First of all, you want to make sure you understand the objectives of the course. So the syllabus is going to outline the professor's expectations of what you will learn in the course and what the professor hopes that you will gain from the course. So this is really your overview of what you're going to take out of this course and what specific skills related to the particular topic or some transferable skills you'll be able to gain. The second thing is following the course schedule. So if we're trying to be organized as learners, it's really important that we note the date and time of our lectures, seminars, labs, or workshops, and when they're occurring weekly versus bi-weekly. Most courses here at Trent will have a lecture. Almost all courses will have a lecture. Some will or will not have seminars, labs, and or workshops. You can have a combination of these things or none at all. Now, the seminars, labs, and workshops can be weekly, and in some courses you'll notice they are bi-weekly. The syllabus is going to tell you when those are, and if they are bi-weekly, it's going to give you a sense of if you are in a particular group and which week that group is meeting. So make sure you pay attention to kind of when and where and what you're doing. The syllabus will also indicate the format of the course, and this kind of can go hand in hand with whether they're lectures, seminars, labs, or workshops. So we have 3 different formats of courses here at Trent: in-person, virtual, and hybrid. In-person obviously being in class or in the labs, seminars, or workshops. Virtual typically being hosted on Zoom or another online platform such as Microsoft Teams, and hybrid being a combination of those 2. And sometimes you can have hybrid that goes between your lectures and seminars. So you might have online lectures posted but need to attend classes in person, your labs in person, or workshops in person. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the syllabus. We also have classes that are synchronous versus asynchronous. Typically online courses, many of those you might find are asynchronous. This is where you'll be provided the information, and sometimes it'll unfold as the course goes, but there's no formal meeting time. So there's no time in your actual schedule set aside for the classes and on your timetable. So you'll need to organize yourself to make sure you make time for those courses. And synchronous means everything's happening at the same time. So if you had, say, a virtual lecture and the lecture was going to be synchronous, that means that you're all going online at the same time, versus an asynchronous lecture, that might mean the lecture is going to be posted on a certain day and you have to watch that video. The syllabus, when it's looking at the course schedule, also outline weekly class themes. So the lecture schedule and the readings will typically be outlined here as well, and you may notice that most instructors will focus on a particular theme for a week or sometimes 2 weeks, depending on how broad that theme is, and that'll give you a way to help organize yourself and become that active learner and thinking about what you need to do in preparation for those classes based on those themes. The other thing the syllabus will outline is the course requirements. So it will provide you of an overview of readings. Sometimes this will be as its own list or will be included within the course schedule. So this could include things like journal articles, textbooks, or any other media the instructor wants you to take a look at. It will also indicate an overview of assessments. So if you have a paper to write, a quiz or a test or a lab report, a midterm, any of those sorts of assessment type materials will be indicated in the syllabus, and it will also indicate how much those are worth for each of your courses. The syllabus will also outline due dates. So this is a great way to use a plan for deadlines and prioritize your tasks so that you're making sure that you're meeting all of those due dates and also continuing to do the work required for those assessments or tests or any of that preparation in a manageable time. So here is an example of what a course syllabus looks like. All syllabi at Trent will have the blue headings. Those are common to all of these syllabi, so tests, assignments, assessments. As a heading, grading, grade total by withdrawal date, schedule, you'll see those in all the course syllabi. Now, under, for example, the assessments and tests or assignments heading, you can see that the 4 different assessments for this course are outlined. There's labs, there's quizzes, there's discussion boards, and it tells you a short description of what the actual assignment or assessment is and how much it's worth. If you want more detailed outlines of what these different items are, those will likely be posted on Blackboard in more specifics or discussed by your instructor in lectures or in seminars by your teaching assistants or instructors. So keep in mind that this is just a brief overview of the kind of main points of what your tests and assessments are going to look like and how much they're worth. And we can see that under the first heading, and we can also see in grading that it's a breakdown of how much of each of the assignments or assessments are worth. The grade total by withdrawal date here indicates the percentage of the grade you will have received by the withdrawal date for your courses. So these occur in each semester, so make sure to check the academic calendar for when those dates are. But effectively, this is how much of the grades you will have received back by that date, and that might help you in decision whether or not you want to continue with the course. And then we can see there's the course schedule. So in this case, we're looking at a schedule for the week of January 11th to 25th. Please pay attention to those dates. Sometimes different courses operate on different weeks if they start on a Monday versus a Thursday, so keep in mind what the dates are specifically. We can see that we're talking about the first module for this course. There's going to be 2 lectures, there's 3 chapters in the textbooks that need to be read, and there's going to be a lab on the particular topic of biological anthropology. So this is an example of a portion of a course syllabus. The course syllabus also has information on how to contact your instructors. It also has information on things like academic integrity, the expectations of you as a student. So make sure you really go through these documents and are familiar with them for each of your courses for every semester. So steps for learning. What are some of the things we can talk about to help us get through the syllabus and get through these courses in a way that's going to be manageable? So as I mentioned a couple of times, make sure you consult the syllabus every week. This is going to help you organize yourself and organize the tasks that you need to complete for that week, organize where and when you need to be and how you need to be there. So make sure that you're doing that. As you go through the syllabus and you go through your courses, make sure that you are reading the assigned readings weekly and taking notes from those readings. Similarly, attending lectures and taking notes of the lectures. And then do a short review of your notes on a weekly basis. And I would suggest doing that in conjunction with the syllabus, again, to make sure that you're meeting those goals that are outlined and that you kind of understand those themes that are outlined by the syllabus for each of the weeks. Now, this may seem like a lot, and going through university with a full course load is a bit of a full-time job. So I want to give you a sense of what that looks like so you can help plan out the work that you need to do for each of your courses. So as I mentioned, with a full course load, you're looking at something like 40 hours on average a week. And breaking this down, we have class time, weekly lecture study or class prep, and assignments. So for class time, this is your lectures, your seminars, labs, and/or workshops, and you can expect to have approximately 3 to 5 hours of class time per course. This can consist of those labs and seminars or workshops, which can be bi-weekly. And keep in mind that for asynchronous classes, we don't have any formal class time. So if you are taking an asynchronous course, you want to make sure that you build in time for studying or preparing for those classes or reviewing those lectures if they're posted weekly or bi-weekly. So on average, you can expect to spend around 15 to 18 hours of direct class time, either in lectures, seminars, labs, or workshops. Then for your weekly study or class prep, this would include reading, taking notes, and reviewing your practice or studying or doing self-tests before the class. This can be active, or it can be something that's active as in something that you do and plan on your own, or sometimes there might be things that your instructors tell you that they want you to do before coming to class or shortly after class. Approximately, you can expect 30 to 50 pages of reading per week per course, and this is going to vary depending on the course and the program you're in, but that's an average number. So you might be expecting to read at least 2 to 4 hours each week, or doing some sort of practice per course. So when you're preparing your timetable, and we have some great resources for doing that on the Academic Skills website, you might want to consider putting in these time blocks as this is the time I'm going to be studying or preparing for this course every week, so that you're building in a schedule that's workable for you. And For assignments, there are sometimes small assignments that are due on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Some of those might be lab or seminar related. And there's also often longer assignments that require more time to work on. So you might get 6 or 8 weeks to work on an assignment that's larger, but you want to make sure that you're building in time to do that as you go, so that you have 1 to 2 hours, weekly for a course assignment. Now, I understand when we lay all of that out, all the syllabi information, all of the time that goes into each of your courses, it can definitely seem overwhelming. But we want you to not forget that there's more to life than just your education, and while that's very important, it's important that you also organize the priorities between school life and your work style. So for school, we want you to consider, of course, your class time, your coursework and assignments, all the lovely things I've just talked about in this video, but we also want you to remember things like your family responsibilities, if you have work, and not forget the things that are essential in life, like sleeping, eating, moving, cleanliness and healthcare, those things that will help bolster your ability to go through school and work on these classes and assignments. And of course, make sure you make time for your social and interpersonal life and commuting to campus. And when you lay out your priorities on these different aspects, that will help you decide how you want to work on them based on your work style. So you might need to consider things like how long something takes, be it a personal aspect or a school aspect, when it's happening, where it's happening, your availability during those times. It'll help make that organization and that school life balance, and for some of you, perhaps school life and work balance, much more manageable. And we can talk about tools for time management and organization that we can help you with at Academic Skills if it's something that you think that you need assistance with. And that brings me into the last thing I want to talk about here, is the idea of making a study plan. So we are here to help you if this is something that you need. If you want to talk time management with us, we have workshops on it, and some of these are coming up during orientation week. There are tips in the Academic Skills Toolkit on Blackboard and our website. If you look up the time management section on the website, there are a number of calendars, planners, and written advice and videos that can help you figure out how you want to put together your school schedule and your life or work schedule. And these are excellent resources that you can download and print out. And if you think that you want to talk this through with someone, please make an appointment with Academic Skills. We're here to help you with managing all of these different moving parts of being a mature student and going through university today. So I'm now going to pass it on to my colleague Kyle, and he's going to share some more information on our resources at the end of this video if it's something that you are interested in.
All right, now we're going to shift gears a bit to discuss who you will find in university. Now, keep in mind that this graphic here is a couple years old, so you'll likely want to add a few years to each range. But Generation Z on the end there is likely going to be the most common demographic you will encounter in your programs, so we're going to focus a bit on key features of that generation. Now, these are common features of that student, but this is not going to be universal, of course. So education is more professionally focused. There is going to be more attention on innovation and growth. And because of this, people in that group would likely want to know the ways that education contributes to this. Media also is focused on quickly getting their attention, and this translates into the way that some instructors are going to be managing their courses. And of course, technology is highly integrated into their life, but this technology is more focused on app navigation rather than traditional computer systems. They are also more familiar with easy-to-use searches. And then I'd like you to take a moment and consider what interests they might be experiencing. Not only new media, but also the type of media that they would have grown up with. And then, of course, people in this group are likely experiencing independence for the first time. This, of course, is common at this age, no matter the the year, but each generation will do it a little bit differently. All right. Now, how is this going to impact education? Well, almost everything is going to be available digitally. Now, as previously mentioned, courses use Blackboard a lot, and you should expect a lot of communication by email. But of course, keep in mind that the university does have a lot of resources available for you in person, and so definitely check these out. And of course, there's going to be a lot more communication on social media. Not everything is done over social media, but it is an admittedly very effective way for mass communication, and many services, including Academic Skills here, use it. Now, within the classroom itself, focusing here on lectures, most courses are going to expect some sort of technology, such as the ability to access Blackboard to do readings. Now, many courses will make the presented slides available through Blackboard, but not all courses are going to do this. Some of your courses might even have recorded lectures. These might be posted after the lecture itself, or they might be lectures that are available entirely through a recording that you're able to just watch on your own time. Some of these courses might be more interactive because of technology, giving you links or QR codes to use. So a QR code can be scanned with a phone, just the camera app, and will redirect you to a web page. Now, with technology, you might find yourself behind someone who is actively multitasking on their computer. My recommendation is just try to ignore this and focus on the lecture itself. All right, now for assignments, as previously stated, many assignments are going to be done through Blackboard, and assignment submission will likely be through Blackboard too. I'm sure you've noticed the common feature here of Blackboard is highly important for your courses, so try to make sure that you can easily access it. Now, there's going to be a lot of submitted material that involve technology. So word processors, for example, they let you do spell checks, but they might not catch everything or give a false positive. And my own personal piece of advice is pay attention to the file requirements. Many courses are going to want submissions by PDF file or Word docx file for written documents. If you're using a MacBook, those frequently save with a .pages file, which not every computer can open, so you might just want to save that as a different type of file. Assignments may also come in different forms through technology, such as Blackboard discussion forums or forum posts. These give you a way to interact with other people in the class. Generally, these are longer written replies, so not just a few brief sentences. It gives you more of an opportunity to engage with the material. But if you want more help getting comfortable with technology, there's a few resources available for you. Trent's IT department and the physical help desk in Bata Library. We also have some instructions on the Academic Skills website, such as how to navigate Blackboard. Or you can also make an appointment with Academic Skills and we'll help navigate some of the systems. If you have very complex ones, that might be something you'd like to go to IT for. But honestly, experimentation is going to help here. Just go onto Blackboard or whichever software you're using, click around, explore it, let yourself get a little more familiar. All right, now I'd like to transition out of your peers and technology and take a moment to focus on you. So, my largest piece of recommendation here is take initiative when you have concerns. So, if you have questions about course content, I'd suggest starting with reviewing material and then look at some outside sources. Like you can even use YouTube or just searching things up. Obviously, take things with a grain of salt if they're from beyond course material. You can email your teaching staff. Check out the tutor board available through the Academic Skills website and connect with your peers. If you have concerns with a specific assignment, of course, again, check out course material, including review notes. Reach out to the teaching staff. You can also book an appointment with Academic Skills for assignment support. And if you have general questions or questions about other parts of the university experience, you can always search the Trent website or visit any college office, and the staff there will be very happy to help you out. All right. Now, this may be self-explanatory, but it's worth touching on. Some days are going to be hard here. It's just a reality of any situation you find yourself in, but the thing is, you've got this. Some ways to help navigate this situation, though, is to continuously reflect upon yourself and look for opportunities to grow. So this might be evaluating your standards and being aware you might have to shift your methods. You're here to learn things, and sometimes learning things is changing what you do. So reflect on your process. You can do this through either a weekly or bi-weekly check-in, and learn from feedback given to you. Your instructors or teaching assistants give you feedback for a reason. Don't take it as a criticism, take it as an opportunity to strengthen your current abilities. You'd like to be more confident in yourself, but also willing to accept change. So, for this, my recommendation is to look at the way your peers do things. There are multiple ways to succeed, and maybe you can incorporate their own methods into yours. But also, support your peers. Your own strengths can help others grow, just like they can help you grow too. The great thing about academia is it's a dialogue, and your experiences are going to help them, their experiences are going to help you. But also try to remember that you are not in this alone. So check your supports. Tech supports can be accessed at any time, but don't expect an immediate response. So feel free to email people if you have a concern. Check out social media. So the main Trent social media, your college, the Academic Skills social media account, academic advising, and You Belong Here. All of those provide helpful resources in an easy and quick method. You can talk with TAs and instructors, go to office hours, they hold them for a reason. And of course, book an academic skills appointment. We have 3 different options, either virtual, in-person, or asynchronous. So just sending in an email. But also, coming up, we have some orientation week sessions. So these are specific to academic skills that might appeal to you. On Monday, September 2nd, so Labor Day, we have the ultimate guide for managing the university reading load. On Tuesday, September 3rd, we have the mock university lecture with note-taking tips, as well as 3 different intro to undergrad sessions. So one for the sciences, one for the social sciences, and one for the humanities. And on Wednesday, we have tips and tricks for managing your time in university, and should a robot write my paper? How to avoid plagiarism and cheating in university. This one focuses on the shifting landscape involving AI. So I'd also like to draw attention to a few supports that are available to you all year. Again, we have academic skills appointments, which are confidential one-on-one appointments. These typically focus on study skills, so critical and effective reading, note-taking, and time management. Writing skills such as organization, analysis, evidence, clarity, and academic integrity. And math skills. We also, you might see in some of your courses, academic skills toolkits. These are a repository of resources available, such as short videos, tip sheets, templates, and web links. If you don't see these in your courses, don't worry. I would recommend checking out the academic skills how-to guides on our website. All right, so that's the end for me. Thank you very much. I would recommend checking out these resources. So book an appointment with us through the Student Experience portal. You can go to that link there or access it through My Trent. Please check out our website, trentu.ca/academic skills, or email us at acdskills@trentu.ca. And of course, follow us on social media. So we have an Instagram and Facebook there. Thank you very much, and enjoy.